What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cheap Seats podcast. I feel like that Jory is just like a member of the show at this point. She's been on every week filling in for people. I mean, she's been kicking butt, so can't argue with that. Welcome back to the show, Jory.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Resident member at this point. Like, she might as well put her as part of the show. Just make it official. Also, right next to me, I got the Prince of Production, Sports Empire Network, Kyle Edwards. How you feeling, Kyle?
I'm good. It's now NFL opening week. A couple of days left to go, and my whole week's about to change because I'll be watching football all the time. Got college football already. I can't be happier.
Speaking of college football, how did y'all feel about opening weekend? Did y'all catch any games? Like, what did y'all think about opening weekend?
Oh, I loved it. 56-7. I can't really ask for much more.
56-7. Who's your team?
Alabama.
Oh. My side team kicks your team's butt all the time, so I ain't worried about that. My side piece is Georgia. My main piece is Penn State, but I have a side piece. It's Georgia. And if you want the story of how they became my side piece, I will feed you. I will let you know. Georgia became my side piece the year they won the first national championship. Like, not their first, but their first of this little, I guess it was the N'Kobe Dean
like 2 years ago?
Yeah. So preseason, August 29th, they're about to play Clemson. DJU is stepping in for Trevor Lawrence. Everyone thinks that Clemson's going to beat Georgia week 1. I said, I think Georgia beats Clemson. I think they win the national championship this year. I think they lose to Alabama in the SEC title game, and I think they end up beating them in the national championship game. And they proved me to be so right on TikTok. It went viral. So, like, to me, I was like, well, now I've been rooting for Georgia all year to make my prediction go true. So the next year, I'm like, Georgia's my side piece team. I'm going to pick them again. And they made me right again. So they won 2 straight national championships. I fell in love with N'Kobe Dean. My N'Kobe Dean love was there. The Eagles drafted a bunch of them. So now Georgia is my side piece. Like, listen, Penn State's my chicken, but my biscuit is definitely Georgia. This is what it is. That's what I got to tell you. But that's how they became my side piece. Well, we got a lot to get into today. We got 3 excellent topics. We came to you on Labor Day. We're putting in this work on Labor Day to let y'all know the cheap seats never rest.
Yep.
How y'all feeling this Labor Day? Anybody do a cookout this weekend? Anything cool before we get started?
I'm just packing for New York. I'll leave Thursday.
See, that's funny. I'm flying Thursday too. We talked about this. You're flying up north. I'm flying down south the same goddamn day. What time's your flight? We got to see.
I don't know because I didn't buy the ticket. My mama bought the ticket.
Yeah, my flight's at 12:30 in the afternoon. Flying out of PHL down to Orlando. Check out some Halloween Horror Nights. My man Melvin's.
The early flights because Hartsfield, that airport.
Yes. It's a mess.
Are y'all local to each other? How close do y'all live to each other?
I think we're on opposite sides of Atlanta, I believe.
Yeah, like 40 minutes both ends.
Oh, y'all need to come down to Atlanta and hang out with y'all. If I come down to Atlanta for a weekend, will y'all watch football with me?
Of course.
Yeah.
All right. I might do that. I swear, I might fly down there. Maybe we can get a couple other people that live in the area, get together. We go to a spot where we can get all the games on and watch some football.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Maybe I'll come down for Titans-Ravens. Watch the Titans beat the Ravens, make some people cry.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just make excuses for Lamar. We already know how that goes.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to go too far into this, but y'all took about 35 seconds to remove my picture from every goddamn intro on this network when I was on my hiatus. But I don't see my picture back on there, but I see a bunch of them that don't go here no more, still in the damn intro. Can we get that updated? Production. I'm sick of this shit.
Sure,
Rip him, Otto. Rip him.
They'll get on it.
Y'all took 38 seconds to remove my face from every goddamn intro. All right, let's get rolling. Let's have some fun. Let's get started. Kyle, you brought us our first. You actually brought us two of our questions because I stole the shit out of your second one, but that's okay. Right. Introduce our Noah Lyles topic for tonight. We addressed this on Wire to Wire. I have fun. I did a reel on this, got a couple thousand views on it. I really want to hear it, and I kind of want to get your opinions on it. But Kyle, starts off.
Yeah, so Noah Lyles made some news there, the World Championships. He did his little press conference, made the comment about how the NBA calls themselves world champions when they win the title. And he basically said, world champions of what? So the very simple question, should the NBA champion be referred to as world champion?
I want to hear your opinion first, sir.
So for me, look, I understand where Noah Lyles is coming from. I'm one of those who I don't really care either way how you refer to it. Like, technically, Noah Lyles is correct because to me, when I think world champion, I think Team USA winning the Olympics or FIBA or whatever. But I understand where NBA fans would want to call it NBA championship because they say it's the best league in the world. So I guess for this topic, I would side with Noah Lyles. Because if the NBA champion was the world champion, then what's the point of having a Team USA? What are they proving? So I always save that for international competitions, World Cup. Because even in soccer, I know you call it grass ping pong, Gene, but
it is.
But I'm just saying, so when you win the UEFA Champions League, they just call you the best team in Europe. They don't call you the world champion, even though those are the best players in the world of soccer. They keep it as a domestic title. NBA technically is a domestic title to the US and Canada. So Noah Lyles has a point. I do think it was kind of crazy with Kevin Durant and Dame Lillard or whoever. I think Aaron Gordon getting all worked up about it. It's just like, it's not that big of a deal. If you want to refer to as a world champion, I don't care. But Noah Lyles does technically have a point. So
Jory, I would let you can be wrong also if you like.
I mean, because there's two sides of this.
No. First of all, Kyle already started with this, Jory. You can't do this either. I need y'all to pick a side of the damn fence.
I'm taking Noah Lyles' side. I'm just saying.
That's fine. You on that side.
He's wrong.
There we go. See, Jory's on my side. I like it. Yeah, Jory, tell him.
He's dead wrong. I mean, one, the way he said it was like the smart alecky technical term. So he's technically right, but we're not talking about technical terms here. This is like the NBA is a collection of the world's best basketball players. So if you're playing that type of level of competition day in and day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, and you're a champion, of course you're going to be a world champion in my eye, but not as far as technicalities. As far as like the talent pool, of course you're a world champion. The fact that he waited this entire moment for this moment of his life, a simple "Hey mom" would have sufficed. You decided to start a pot on purpose. That I didn't see the point of.
Okay. Do you guys know who the number one ranked team in FIBA is in the world?
I believe it's Spain at this point.
That is correct. They are number one. The United States is number two.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask y'all a question real quick. And I asked the same question to Cottrell, and he said some wild, outlandish crap, and I gave him hell for it. And I'll give y'all the same hell if y'all say this answer. If you took the FIBA Spain world team, you took their national team that they send to the Olympics, the number one ranked team in FIBA, and put them in the NBA as constructed. You take all the NBA players that are on their teams, move them to the Spanish national team.
Okay.
How do they do?
Not too good.
Yeah, I mean they probably lose. I would say.
Lose what?
A lot.
Well, I mean, look, in that case, yeah, because now you're taking the other world players and you're putting them on the NBA team to go up against Spain. Then yeah, the
See,
NBA
that's
team.
the point. You
Yeah.
said the NBA was a national championship. It was in the United States. That's
Yeah.
not correct. 3 of the 5 best players in the world are not from the United States. This is just where we. What do you mean where they're playing? On who they're playing? Melvin, if they played an 82 game regular season schedule and went into the playoffs, what would they done? And Steve, I know they lost to Lithuania the other night. That USA basketball team would barely make the playoffs in the NBA. Just so you know,
Well,
they played an 82 game season. What would their record be? What seed would they be? Don't make me pull up the roster, bro. I don't want to do that to you.
I mean, when you say Spain, I always think of the Gasals. Well, I know they're not playing, and I think of the Hernan Gomez's. And a few
Would you like to know their roster, and then you can give me a decision on where you'd have them?
I'm pretty well. The Hernan Gomez's have to be there.
2 Hernan Gomez's.
Okay.
You got a Rubio, a Rudy Fernandez, Juan Nunez, Victor Clavar, Santiago Adama. Bro, their highest scorer at 18 points a game is Willie Hernan Gomez. If an NBA team's highest scoring player was Willie Hernan Gomez, where would they finish?
Last, like dead last.
Dead last. They don't win 20 games in an NBA season. And we're going to sit here and talk about this team. It's the world champion. Yo, the NBA has the best players in the world. I only say this about 2 sports, where the United States championship, like our championship that is the NFL and the NBA. They're world champions because the best players in the world come here to play the game. Who's the best 5 players in the world? Jokic?
Yeah.
Serbia? Luka? He top 5, right?
Slovenia.
Yeah.
Okay. Slovenia?
Giannis.
Where are you from? He from America?
Greece.
Nope. He's the Greek freak. How about Embiid? Cameroon. The best players in the world play here. Let's so first of all, when you say that in soccer, and the reason that the Champions League and all aren't considered world champions is they're not. So the Champions League is all the teams in Europe. Am I correct?
Yes.
So what about the teams from Brazil and Argentina?
They don't see those teams.
That's why they're not world champions.
But there are Brazilian players who do play for European clubs, and they are in the Champions League.
I understand that. But are there players that do not play in Brazil, like the La Liga, that don't play in Manchester United? Are there top players in the world that don't play in any of the Champions League games?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess now technically because Messi's over here at Inter Miami, Ronaldo's playing in Saudi Arabia. So, yeah.
I would love to put them in 2K. Danny Dempsey said it perfect. Put them in 2K and see what happens. Create that team. Willie Hernan Gomez, best player. And first of all, that's the first point I got to get into. Noah Lyles had it. Jory said it perfectly. Noah Lyles had his moment. And the first thing he said is, you know what bugs me? The NBA players are world champions. World champions of what? Bro, that's your moment, bro. What are you doing?
I mean, I'm not saying that he, should have brought it up or anything, because it was kind of weird that was what he wanted to use the
He
moment
could have said
for.
anything else but that.
I
Be anywhere in the world. You chose to be here.
Yes.
Look, and I'm going to go step 2 on this. I don't want to go too far, but I think he's dead wrong for what he said. I think the NBA champions are world champions. I think the NFL champions are world champions. I think MLB, there's a comparable Japanese league. The Japanese baseball league is incredible. Let's not pretend that, the United States doesn't clearly – Major League Baseball doesn't have all the best talent in the world. The NBA is all the best talent in the world. All of it.
But I mean, I could also argue that that's kind of a separate topic because by him saying they're not world champions doesn't mean the NBA isn't a global game, because it obviously is. I just think the actual act of winning the NBA title doesn't necessarily make you a world champion. But
So
it is,
Kyle,
definitely international influence for sure.
Kyle, what do you call it when all the best players in the world show up at one spot and they all play and then one team wins?
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but the caveat is like, if you were playing an international competition, Embiid wouldn't be playing NBA; he'd be playing Cameroon.
You're absolutely correct. That's the point. Thank you for making my point, though. You're saying the NBA is a United States game. It's not. Just because the games are played in the United States doesn't mean it's a United States game. All the best players in the world come here to play basketball. Here's another point I'll make, right? Who wins in a basketball game, the Denver Nuggets or Lithuania?
The Nuggets by half.
Nuggets would, yes.
Okay,
but you have to look at that. So Jokic would be playing for the Nuggets, but not Serbia.
Correct. The points that the teams are better, the competition's better here. If the United States team was in the NBA, would they win the finals? The team that they sent over there right now.
No.
So the competition's better in the NBA than it is in the FIBA World Cup. I hate when I'm right.
I'm just saying, look, if you break it down, he's making a correct point, but I don't know, because people are just like, it's not a knock on the NBA being the best league. It's just that if you're the world champion, you win the Olympics, you win FIBA, because that's country versus country. Yes, the best in the world play in the NBA. I think it's just two different conversations that have kind of fused into one under this Noah Lyles comment.
Yeah, but your point that you're making, Kyle, and I get it, but like I'm trying to tell you, so you're telling me if Spain, who's actually eliminated, right? I think they're eliminated. If Canada wins the World Cup of basketball, are they the world champions?
Technically, yeah.
And that's the point. That's wrong. They're not. The Denver Nuggets would beat them in 4 games by an average margin of 20 points per game.
I mean, that's also true. I mean, some would say you could take some guys who don't play in the NBA and go against an NBA team, and you might be able to beat them because they'll say some guys, because of circumstances, just didn't make it in the league. Like,
bro, I'll bet you if you took the top 12 players that play in FIBA that don't play in the NBA and put them on one team, they would get routed in the NBA. Routed. It wouldn't be close. The competition is best in the National Basketball Association. It's better than any World Cup competition.
Yeah.
So the world champions are the ones that win the best competition, which would be the NBA Finals.
I mean, yeah.
I just need you to admit I'm right.
Because it's like
I can admit that point, but I'm just saying it's still technically not a world championship.
See, I stopped looking at it at technicalities a while ago because I realized his comment wasn't meant to be. Well, he was being a smart, but with that whole world thing, he was being smart when he said it. That's the thing. That's why I took it out of. That's why I was disregarding it, because I'm like, I'm not being technical here. We're talking about the whole talent pool. The best of the best is in the NBA. So of course the NBA champ would be the world champ in my eye.
Okay.
So Noah Lyles is a sprinter.
Yep.
Okay. This guy is on stage talking about the NBA not being the world champions. Here's my next part of that, right? I wish you had the comments page where they had Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, and there's a couple other superstars in the comments.
So sensitive. They're so
that's my next point. The sensitivity level, like I'm putting it this way, right? If I was on a platform and I knew I was the best in my platform, in the best in the world, and the competition was the best. And why do I have something to prove to you? If I'm making $50 million a year to play basketball, why am I in Noah Lyles' comment section being like, kids, this guy's wrong? Bro, you make $50 million a year to play basketball. Mm-hmm. Shut up. But why are you worried about what Noah Lyles said?
I mean, we know why Durant was there, because Durant just needs to be in people's conversation. We already know how sensitive he is, so I'm not surprised to see him there at all.
And sensitive thugs, you all need.
Feelings are like this piece of paper. They get ripped easily. I'm like, Devin Booker, I didn't know he was that sensitive either. I'm like, what?
You didn't?
No.
Did you not watch what Luka did to him in the playoffs? You didn't know he was sensitive?
I forgot about that. Most of these NBA players are soft. That's the thing. Most of them are very sensitive. So they felt like their craft was being attacked for whatever reason, and they decided to go to Twitter fingers or X fingers or whatever you want to call it.
I can't take that. We can't call. Why can we just continue to call it Twitter?
I don't know why.
That's what I basically call it.
I can't. X, bro. You know the one thing about that. I don't want to go too far off track here, but am I like the only one in my head that like wants to hide when Twitter is on my home screen now? Because it looked like a damn porn site. Like I don't. It does. Like when you have your phone open and you're like in crowded, you click the X. Like, don't you think that like porn is going to pop up? Am I the only one who thinks that way?
No.
I didn't think that, but now that you brought it up,
it's like X-rated, right? No. Yeah. It looks like a damn porn site. Like I'm hiding that shit. Like it's something I'm not supposed to have. I'm at work and like X pops up, like with like a tweet of somebody I follow. I'm like, oh shit, gotta hide that real quick. It's for real, man. What is Elon doing, bro? Elon needs to stop. I need to find a different platform. I don't. You know what the funny thing is? Everybody's on IG. I don't like IG that much. I don't. I like Twitter before Elon ruined it. But then you can't. I can't be DMing people either. You start a conversation with a girl. You don't get her phone number yet. You're DMing her on Twitter, and it goes, "You've reached your message counter. Pay us $11 a month if you want to keep messaging." The hell am I on Tinder now? I'm done. I got the sports show. Back to sports. I'm just saying. I'm making y'all laugh. That's good for me. All right. So the other part that annoyed me, it was Durant, Booker, and Damian Lillard.
Oh, Lord.
I know that's your favorite player, Jory. You're a big Lillard fan, right?
Him and James Harden can go to Taiwan and stay wherever.
I heard you was a big. Here, I got this screenshot on X. I clicked X. I thought I was going on a porn site again. I got to, oh my God. Easy Money Sniper. Somebody help this brother. D-Book, facepalm. Dame Lillard, the fuck. Aaron Gordon, whatever. I'm smoking buddy in the 200 meter.
No, he's not.
Highest Jones. Yeah, this ain't it. I don't know who that is. And then Udonis Haslam. Big fan, but gone with that Bulls, brah. Suckers.
One, Aaron Gordon is not smoking that man in no 200-meter race.
Yeah. Bro.
He's a sprinter for a reason.
What is
and
he?
He's about as big as a linebacker. Like, come on now. I understand you're upset, but let's be real with ourselves here.
It's wild to me that he said that.
I think Udonis Haslam would have something better to do than to be in this conversation.
I'll tell you right now, Udonis Haslam has the greatest job in the world. How many minutes did he play last year?
2.
Yeah, probably 2.
And he made money sitting on an NBA bench, traveling with an NBA team, living an NBA life because he's the enforcer in the locker room.
Right.
Doing absolutely nothing.
Bro, he got the job. The only better job than that is the backup job for Peyton Manning when he used to be a quarterback.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You ain't got to do nothing. Here you go, Peyton. I got your water for you. Like, oh, I don't know what I think is more wild. The fact that Noah Lyles used his platform to have that conversation, or the fact that that many NBA players got that offended in their feelings. I'm telling you, go back to Jay-Z's line. I use it all the time. Sensitive thugs, you all need hugs. Chase Daniels, that's a great one. Chase Daniels be making that money doing nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Any more comments on Mr. Noah Lyles before we move on?
No.
Damn, little man, I'm just trying to do me. The rec is $2 million. I'm just trying to move 3. I won't keep rapping Jay-Z. I'm done. Jory's got a question for us. Let's get on to the Jory world.
All right. So with the whole, we all know that Chris Jones and Nick Bosa are probably going to hold out into the season. Now, how long into the season do you think these two holdouts will last? And I'll just go top to bottom.
All right, Kyle, it's on you, brother.
I feel like if one's gonna last longer, it'll probably be Chris Jones. But I feel like both of them probably 1 week at most. You know, opening game happens, everybody sees what's going on in the field, and then I feel like the teams will go back to them because they're too important to both teams. Like Chris Jones, you take him away from that Chiefs defense. Are you really that worried about anybody else besides him? And Bosa, you game plan for Bosa. So I doubt both organizations are going to really try to play hardball with these two and push it out to 8 weeks or whatever. I think that's hilarious. I think there's a 0% chance they go that long. So I feel like it's 1-2 games tops, both of them get a new deal. For all we know, Chris Jones could sign Wednesday night before the Thursday opener. I think Kansas City would be crazy to let this linger too long.
Chris Jones is out of his damn mind. He is. Listen, Nick Bosa, I think Nick Bosa's deal gets done. I think they're trying to bridge the $4 million gap. I think Nick Bosa's deal gets done soon. I think he'll sit week 1. I think he's back by week 2.
Yeah.
I really believe that. Chris Jones is out of his damn. You know the Chiefs offered this man 3 years, 74? And he turned it down? 3 years, 74.
That's more.
Yeah, that's definitely a big offer.
3 years, 74.
I'm assuming he had a different number in mind. For all we know, is Chris Jones. It could have been he wanted 75, and the Chiefs said we'll give you 74.
I swear to God,
holding out.
He wants Aaron Donald money.
What's that show that The Rock was on where the NFL football players? I forget the name of it. I used to watch it all the time.
Oh,
The Rock was like a sports agent.
Yeah.
Or a money manager.
I can't think of the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Ballers. That's it. So on Ballers, there's this guy on there. And I thought they were trying to make him out to look like Fletcher Cox. And he was a defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. And he was holding out and he wanted money. And the agent got him 4 years, $71 million. And he's like, nah, we want $100 million. And it was like a stupid holdout. And I swear to God, this is happening in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I've researched this Chris Jones thing way more than I should. I went down this rabbit hole and talked to him. Like, seriously, this Chris Jones thing, he's liking tweets on Twitter that are like saying trade him to Dallas, and he's liking the tweet. Like, come on, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You just won a world championship. I said world championship for a reason, by the way. A world championship with the Kansas City Chiefs last year. Mm-hmm. You were one of the Defensive Player of the Year nominees. You had your best season. They're offering a ton of money. Like, what do you want to do, man? Are you really arguing over $3 to $5 million when you could be another world champion? I never understood that, right? Like, what do you want out of it? You want 5 years, 100? What do you want? What do you want?
From my understanding, he wants Aaron Donald money. He wants $30 million a year.
Okay, so let's see how far they're off from Aaron Donald money. 3 years, 74 comes out to a shade under 25 a year. It's 24.8, right? If Chris Jones makes 24.8 instead of $30 million, and he holds out, he loses game checks, all that jazz, he's probably lost about $700,000 in the holdout right now. Okay? So let's just split the baby and say 75. Aaron Donald gets 100, 30 million a year, whatever it is, 90. We're talking about $4 to $5 million a year. How much endorsement money do you think Chris Jones makes in Kansas City? How much money do you think he makes off of endorsement deals playing for a world champion? Let me ask you guys a question real quick. How many endorsements you think a defensive tackle has, a great defensive tackle, Quentin Richardson, has for the Jets? Not much in New York. You know why? Because they don't win. How many commercials you see Quentin? When do you see that? How many commercials do you see Dexter Lawrence in?
None.
People want to pay world champions. Find an endorsement deal in the Kansas City area to pay you $5 million a year. And shut up and play football.
I got you.
Chris Jones is out of his damn mind.
Well, I mean, he had Travis Kelce on the podcast.
I seen that.
Begging Kansas City to pay him.
And
Bro,
the thing is, I'd understand, but I'm like, from how the whole offseason has played out, the whole market for interior defensive tackles and stuff has already been set. So he's not going to get $30 million. The max he'll probably get is 27. Looking at the market. And then what's Aaron Donald? Aaron Donald took a step back, and I think he was injured last year too, so he has to work back up too.
I don't get it. Aaron Donald did the whole I'm going to retire to get paid. That's what he did. I'm going to retire. I'm good with stepping away. No, you weren't. You weren't stepping away at 29, Aaron. Shut up.
He's still kind of mulling about retirement. I think
he always mulling retirement. Anytime things get tough, Aaron,
he's doing Aaron Rodgers right now, and I'm tired of that too.
Don't be tired of Aaron Rodgers. He's about to have a great year.
No, I'm talking about the 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door type stuff.
Let me defend Aaron Rodgers for a minute. This is a whole nother topic. Let me defend Aaron Rodgers for a second. If you signed a contract somewhere with Green Bay and you're trying to win a championship, and with the first round, all this started in Green Bay the moment they drafted Jordan Love in the first round. You don't draft a quarterback in the first round if you're not looking to replace the current quarterback. Like, when was the last time you've seen that happen? Where a team drafted a quarterback in the first round, they were like, nah, we're good. We're good, Aaron. You're a guy. Until you slip and fall one time. So instead of trying to win a championship and getting him an offensive lineman to protect him, a wide receiver to throw the football to, a defensive player, whatever, Green Bay used their first round draft pick to get a quarterback. Do you feel like that organization's committed to you, Jory?
No, and I understand that, but the whole charade and the whole years of shenanigans after that was just uncalled for.
You say that, but I think what he was doing, he said, I don't want to be in Green Bay. Last offseason, before this past offseason, he said, I don't want to be here. Trade me. Green Bay's like, we're not trading him. It's like, I don't want to be here. Trade me. I might retire if I have to be here. I don't want to be here. You guys aren't committed to me. I'm not committed to you. You guys got rid of all my receivers I wanted. You got rid of Jordy Nelson. You got rid of Randall Cobb. So the Packers and Aaron Rodgers met up. They had a conversation. They brought back a couple of his guys. Randall Cobb got back in the building. They gave him a new contract to let him know they're committed to him. But in reality, Aaron Rodgers had 1 foot out the door as soon as they drafted Jordan Love. They weren't committed to him. They drafted his replacement to get rid of him. So, like, Jordy, I don't know what you do for a living. Kyle, I don't know what you do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But if they hired your replacement, and the moment you, like, take a vacation, take a day off, the moment you don't come into work 10 minutes early, They're like, we got a replacement. We're going to promote John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt to your position and replace you. How committed are you to that job?
I'm going today. Bye.
But see, in the NFL, they have contracts. So he can't just say bye. But thank you, Jory. I appreciate you. You've proven my point. Because you're gone that day. Aaron Rodgers was gone. It is a business. But we can't always side with the organization every single time when a player's upset. We can't do that.
My pushback is always that, look, Brady was upset when they drafted Garoppolo. I know he was a second or third round. And all Brady did was just play at a high enough level. We never saw Garoppolo. Aaron Rodgers turned it into this whole drama thing about, I need this, I need that. Look, you were winning division titles. You were in the playoffs a lot of these years. So the organization had to be doing something right with some of the players that were there. And the only reason why the Packers didn't have some success, some people could look at, I guess, the talent around him in certain games. But Aaron Rodgers himself didn't necessarily play the best in some of these playoff games as well. So I wouldn't say I'd put it all on Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers has to take some of that as well. And Aaron Rodgers was always taking like the most money whenever he could. He could have taken a little less. Maybe they would have put more around him. I don't know.
Kyle, did he take more money in New York or did he take a pay cut?
The whole New York thing, that's just him playing to the media at this point. Because the amount of times I sit there and every day they're talking about Aaron Rodgers like, oh, look what he did today. Oh, he's such a this, he's such a that. Okay.
No, I feel like you don't like Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers has been compared to your favorite quarterback his entire existence. So you develop. No, you're right. I agree with you for no reason. And I feel like that you're allowing that to cloud your judgment a little bit. He took a pay cut in New York to get Dalvin Cook and for them to be able to put money into the offensive line.
But that's I also want to see if the Jets don't get off to this hot start, will we see the old Aaron Rodgers pop up, the guy who kind of, I don't know, shows up people and all that kind of stuff. It's all good now because
he's going to show people up, just like Brady showed people up. Don't act like Brady didn't throw temper tantrums on the sideline, get in people's faces. You know what's funny? But Kyle, I feel like that's another point I need to bring up. Do you ever notice the difference? And I hate bringing this up. I swear to God. I feel like every week on Cheap Seats, I find one altercation or incident that happens that brings up the same topic. Mm-hmm. But do you ever notice that when Tom Brady yells at his receivers or his linemen or throws an iPad, he's fiery, he's competitive, he's this, right? Mm-hmm. But when like Jameis Winston or Cam Newton did it or any other of those quarterbacks did it, it was, he's a diva, he's a problem. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
But it also helped that Brady had the rings behind him. That obviously helped him. If Brady was Aaron Rodgers and was pulling that, he probably would have gotten different treatment. But since it always seemed like it led to something later on in January and February, who cared? Same with Cam Newton. I'm sure if Cam Newton won titles, he probably would have been more loved or whatever. The same way that, the Super Bowl when he didn't die for the fumble or whatever, people took that as an opportunity to attack Cam Newton and whatever. Even though you can't argue that Cam Newton at his height wasn't an exciting player, wasn't a winning player. It's just that he just doesn't have the ring to show for it. My whole thing with Aaron Rodgers is everybody who calls him bad man and the best quarterback and all this, he's been to one Super Bowl. I could see if he had been to a couple, lost heartbreakers, I'm there with you. But he's been to just one. How bad of a man is he that he's only been to one? He played in a division that's been weak most of his time there. So he had a easy path to a playoff spot and could never capitalize on it. That's my whole thing with Aaron Rodgers. Look, I get the whole Jets thing. Maybe he's just motivated because he understands that he
has an organization that cares about him, that is invested in him.
He got the talent on the field. Like, he recognizes the defense is really good. So what they're asking him to do isn't necessarily what Green Bay was asking him to do. So maybe that's changed his whole mentality and all that. Fine. I just want to see if it doesn't go as well as he thinks or the organization or those Jets fans think, then how will we see Aaron Rodgers deal with that? That's all.
Let me ask you a question, Kyle.
Yeah.
Going into the season, do you think he has a better head coach than he did last year?
Yes.
Do you think he has a better receiving core than he did last year?
I mean, a lot of them are the same guys, but yeah.
Garrett Wilson's the same guy?
But I'm just saying, like, he got to New York, but he wanted the same guys who weren't good enough in Green Bay to come to New York with him. Garrett Wilson is better than Christian Watson. Yes.
Do you think he has a better defense than he did last year?
Yes.
Do you think he has a better running back room than he did last year?
I mean, you got Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon.
Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook?
Yes, it's better in New York. Yes, slightly.
They've invested in him, so he took a pay cut for them. It's a give and take in the business. Jory, let me stop real quick. I haven't got one Jory's opinion. I know Jory's not a big Aaron Rodgers lover. Dalvin's not top 5. Are you out of your damn mind? Matthew, come on. Jair is better than Sauce. That's fair. But we're arguing 1 and 2 in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I'll take the rest of the Jets defense. Dalvin's top 5. This man's out of his damn mind. Can't believe he just
top 5 what?
Top 5 old running backs named Dalvin? I don't understand what you're talking about. Joy, what's your opinion on the Aaron Rodgers situation? I feel like we've gotten completely off the question.
We have, and this is my last little thing about it. Cause alluding to what Gene said, like when they did draft Jordan Love, whatever type of stock he had into the Green Bay Packers, he bought out mentally, clearly. Because then he went on this whole tirade and the whole shenanigans, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I want to be traded. And then the whole, I don't like Aaron Rodgers. The main reason why I don't like Aaron Rodgers is because of COVID. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, don't do that on there because I'm going to get myself in trouble. You don't like him because of COVID, and then everybody found out that everything that you did because of COVID was wrong. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that on air. I don't want to do that on air. I'm going to get canceled.
Yeah, that's why I said I wasn't going to go there. And the other stuff, too, like the when receivers start dropping balls and you don't want to throw it to him anymore. Well, if you had been there in the offseason, probably because he didn't want to be there in the first place, to help the receivers develop, we wouldn't have these issues. But that all stems to him not wanting to go be in Green Bay anyway. But the Packers should have known that a lot sooner than this year. The minute they drafted Jordan Love, that he was probably going to check out. They knew they were dealing with Brett Favre 2.0.
Yep.
He had to learn from somewhere. So the Packers should have been on this a little bit sooner. Maybe we would have known what Jordan Love was at this point. And Aaron Rodgers didn't have to be a diva. But at the same time, now that he's on the Jets and the Jets have bought into him, he's going to give back so that they can continue to buy into him. So, because it's not just a 1-year deal. I believe it's what, 2, 3?
I think his contract's 3 years, 2 years guaranteed. I'm almost sure of that.
So a 2-3 year deal, yeah. He's giving back that money so they can continue to put the pieces around him, so they can sustain success. So that's because he's bought into the organization, into the message and whatnot. I still don't like him, though.
You don't have to like him, and that's okay. I just think the narrative around Aaron Rodgers has been painted one way, and I think the Green Bay organization has a lot to do with that. Like, we're off the topic of the question, and we can move right back to the question in a second, but I'm going to ask you guys a question. They have 2 top 10 quarterbacks of all time in the last 35 years. How many Super Bowls have they won?
2.
35 years.
Each.
35 years. They've had 2 top 10 quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah.
It's an organizational issue.
Yes, yeah, I can agree with that. But both guys did have some glaring shortcomings in the playoffs as well.
100%. I thought Brett Favre is one. I think Brett Favre is the second or third most overrated quarterback of all time. But that's for another topic, another day. He threw. Everybody talk about how many touchdowns he threw. He threw equally amount of interceptions. Or,
ESPN loved him, so that's where a lot of that came from.
I've always told people that Brett Favre was a bad human being, and now this whole thing in Mississippi proved me right. So I always love when I can get proven right in the future. I was told Brett Favre is the most lovable player, and he's out there and he looks like he's having fun. And then after his career, he's addicted to painkillers. He's stealing welfare money from Mississippi people. Like, come on. I told you this dude was a bad dude. Y'all don't want to listen to me. It's okay. Jory, what do you think? When do you think the holdouts end? I'll say week 2 for Bosa, week 4 for Chris Jones.
See, because I went through the schedule, because I know Chris Jones said the trade deadline, or he was either a trade deadline or he said he's willing to sit out 8 weeks. I'm looking at the Chiefs' schedule. First, they start off with the Lions. The Lions have a pretty nice offensive line.
Yeah, he's not playing this week. I'll tell you that right now.
He's not playing this week, guaranteed.
Yep.
And then you have an improved O-line with Chicago, even though I still have to see it a little bit more. And then they play the Jaguars. So I feel like just by how their schedule is set up, they're going to have them back by week 5.
Okay.
I might have said this on one of my episodes on George Sports Stories. Y'all should go check it out if you want to. But I might have said this. I'm like, if I was Chris Jones, I'm letting the Chiefs trot out there without me on the field, because I know that I bring at least half of the sack production to that team. Maybe a little bit over half of it. So I let them trot out there for about 2 to 3 weeks. They'll come back calling, try to pay me what I'm due. But at the same time, he's not where we're at right now, he needs to accept that he's not getting $30 million a year. That market has been set. If he didn't get that before the market was set, he's not going to get it now. And as far as Bosa is, I feel like with the 49ers defense, they're also losing D'Amico Ryans too, so that might impact it too. But they can afford to kind of stall a little bit because their schedule is a little bit softer on the front end compared to Kansas City, so they can get away with it and negotiate for a little bit longer. I say by week 5 or 6.
Week 5.
They'll have it done by week 8.
What about Nick Bosa?
That's what I was talking about. But
you think 5 or 6? You said Chris Jones. You was talking.
No, Chris Jones. They'll have him back by week 4.
Okay.
Because
you think Nick Bosa is going to last longer than Chris Jones?
Yeah. Because the Kansas City Chiefs schedule is a little bit tougher in my eyes in the front than the 49ers, if my opinion. But they're facing some offensive lines that have improved from last year. They're gonna want that. They're gonna want Chris Jones out there. So yeah, they're gonna want him out there sooner than later. Whereas the San Francisco 49ers, their defense is so stout, it might not be that much of a drop-off, even though I think it will be. But, yeah, I feel like they can stall a little bit.
I'll tell you what. I look at this Lions-Chiefs game, and I was 100% sold on taking the Chiefs minus 6.5 in this game. I was going to bet it. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole anymore because I look at the matchup in the trenches, and I don't see a way where the Chiefs stop the Lions run game. They're going to get bullied up front without Chris Jones there. But we'll get into that on another day, on another show. Let's get into our last topic of the night. Fantasy football, baby. It's fantasy football season, and we're going to have a fun time building a roster with $20. You have $20, and there's your picks. I'm going to read them out for the listeners for Spotify just so y'all can hear it. At quarterback, your $5 quarterback's Josh Allen. $4, 5-1. $4, Justin Fields. Then we got Dakota Rain Prescott, Daniel Jones, and $1, Jared Goff. At running back, CMC at 5. Bijan at 4. That's some disrespectful shit having Bijan 4. But whatever.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb at 3. Damian Pierce at 2. And Breece Hall at 1. RB2. You got Eckler at $5. Tony Pollard at $4. ETN at 3. Najee at 2. Ramondre at 1. Receivers. You got Jettas and Chase at $5. You got Cheetah and Cup at 4. AJ and CD at 3. Devontae and Garrett at 2. Godwin and Hopkins at 1. And your tight ends are Kelsey, Andrews, Hawkinson, Goddard, Pitts. This is my question, so I get to go first. Jory, I know you had some lineups written down. You told me you had some lineups ready. Give me your lineup. Give me your fantasy football roster, which needs 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a quarterback, and you only have $20 to do it.
See, because now I got 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers too. So
what you're supposed to do: 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a quarterback.
I thought you said 1 wide receiver. Okay, whatever.
No,
I got it. I misheard. But my quarterback would be Josh Allen.
So $5 already out the gate. You only got $15 to play with.
Give me McCaffrey. Give me
$10. You ain't playing $13. You got Chubb, McCaffrey. That's you really heavy on the quarterback running back room. I see you.
Give me AJ Brown.
AJ. Okay, now hold on, let's do the math. We gotta do the math real quick. We're $16.
Give me D Hop.
Nuke.
That's
$17. And you taking TJ?
And I'm taking 2 tight ends.
Whoa, you taking 2? Why you can't do that?
Huh? Why not?
Because you can only have 1 tight end. There's only 1 row. You're not getting Goddard and Pitts.
Yeah, I was taking both of them.
I love the way Jory thinks. She's like, I'll take both of them.
Hey.
Just take Hawkinson at $3.
Yeah, I'll just take Hawkinson at $3.
Hawkinson's better than the other 2.
Even though Kyle Pitts fantasy, when he's on, he's on. But when he's off, he's off.
Well, don't give me that Atlanta talk. Kyle Pitts is, first of all, Kyle Pitts could be a great tight end in this league. But the problem is when you're talking about fantasy football, his quarterback is Desmond. I need to get rid of her. Desmond Ridder stinks. That man is trash. Trash truck juice.
I think he's unproven. I have to see more from him personally.
It's trash.
I mean, this year is Ritter's proven year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
They put too much money in everywhere else but the quarterback position. He needs to do something this year.
He had Drake London and he had Kyle Pitts last year. Oh, what they added Bijan, so now they're going to be good? Get out of here. Get out of here.
They added Mac Hollins, who's a decent.
Mac Hollins? Is that really what we're doing right now?
I would say he's decent as a 2 or 3, but it's still going to be Drake London and Pitts. They added Jonnu Smith, who was a bust in New England, but Arthur Smith, seems to think
he's trying to turn the Falcons into the. Arthur Smith is turning the Falcons into the Titans rejects.
That's literally what. Yes,
it's facts.
That's a fact. That's how he got that mustache.
I have the perfect lineup. The perfect lineup. Kyle, would you like to read me your line? I don't want you stealing my perfect lineup. I need you to go next.
Like I said, I had a couple as well. So I think the best one I have, I'll go Fields for $4.
Okay.
Running back, I'm going Breece Hall. I'm going Ramondre Stevenson, $1 each.
Wow, you don't spend no money on the RB position. Exact opposite of Jory.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wide receiver, I'm going Jefferson. I'm going Chase.
Whew, you just went with the LSU boys.
Yeah.
The LSU boys in the building tonight.
And then tight end, I get Mark Andrews.
Wow. You got a receiving core for Justin Fields to throw to. Thunder and lightning in the backfield with Ramondre and Breece Hall.
Yep.
I got a different way of thinking.
Okay.
So I agree with Kyle at the quarterback position. See, the only wrong answer would be if you didn't spend the money on the quarterback position. It's the only wrong answer. I agree with Kyle on the quarterback position. I got $4 for Justin Credible. I think he has the Hurts leap this year. I've been talking about that for a while. added DJ Moore, solidified his offensive tackle position. So I got Justin Fields. Running backs, I agree completely with Jory. There's 2 RBs at great value here. I'm going to take CMC and I'm going to take Chubb. Got my little thunder and lightning. So right now I'm sitting at $12.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 wide receivers at absolute stud value right here. And I'm going to get Garrett Wilson and the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith. Garrett Wilson's going to have an incredible year with Aaron Rodgers. Incredible. And the Slim Reaper takes the next step forward. I actually think Slim Reaper has a better overall season than A.J. Brown this year. Coming from an Eagles fan, I love A.J. Brown. I do. But I think Slim Reaper is your possession receiver. Most PPR leagues, he's going to catch more balls in more places. Whose slogan's that? But whatever. I got Garrett Wilson and Devontae Smith there, $2 a piece. And then I get Mark Andrews too. I get Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson's favorite target, great receiving tight end. None of us could figure out a way to get Travis Kelce on this list, who is an incredible value there. But I love the way I'm set up. Fields with Chubb and McCaffrey. I got Wilson and Slim Reaper and Mark Andrews. You know what's funny? We could probably
to another one I had.
We could do this if we wanted to. We could take all 3 of our lineups, put it in and like basically track their points fantasy and see who's right here. Not many of these hypothetical ones we can actually get the answer. But this one we can.
Yeah.
I might take your lineups. I might put them in a simulator and see what happens.
I mean, that would be interesting to see. But like I said, the second lineup I had was very close to yours. The only difference was I had Garrett Wilson and CeeDee Lamb and then used Hawkinson as the tight end.
I like that. But I can't put a Cowboy on my list. I'm a hater.
I understand.
See, I had my initial one was I had Justin Fields as my quarterback, and then I originally didn't go with D-Hop and I went with Devontae Smith.
Ah, I see what you did. You went Homer. You're like, I got to get D-Hop in there because he's a Titan. I get it, Jory. I get it. We on the same page. I got Slim Reaper in there, though. I like Slim Reaper. Skinny Batman.
How many Batmans are on that team? I know
4.
they're swole, fat, skinny.
Yep. And fast.
Who's that?
Quez Watkins, which he shouldn't be a Batman. Just being real with you. I love that Jason Kelce added himself to it with Fat Batman. That originally wasn't about them. What happened was they were asking AJ Brown about Batman and Robin with him and Devontae Smith. And he goes, we ain't got Batman and Robin. We got 3 Batmans. We got Swole Batman, Skinny Batman, and Fast Batman. And then Jason Kelce added, I'm Fat Batman. And he wore the mask and had his stomach out. I thought that was hilarious.
I love
That's how that all came. That's how that all came to.
I love Jason Kelce. I don't like the Eagles very much because of Howie Roseman being a magician. But
why do you not like the Eagles? Because our GM is good.
Because it's not. I don't. It's jealousy.
Sorry, you like me, right? We're friends.
Yeah, we're friends, but I have I don't have like a problem, right? I'm just jealous because I'm working on a GM who's doing a good job for his first season as a GM, and then my last GM messed up my team. But Howie Roseman has been putting together the Eagles pretty nicely for a while now, so it's not disdain; it's just jealousy.
So jealousy's not a good look on you, though, Jory.
You
did your makeup for the show. I seen the pre-pics. I seen them, posted them on. I did my makeup for the show. Jealousy is not a good look on you. It's not.
But I know my team getting there, though.
You got to forget about the ex-boyfriend. He's been traded to Philadelphia. He's been traded. You got to worry about the new boyfriend.
Mad about the AJ thing.
DeAndre Hopkins is in the house. You got to worry about the new boyfriend.
I'm not even worried about AJ. I tell Titans fans to stop worrying about AJ. because that has nothing to do with this team now. That was John Robinson messing up my team, not Rand. Rand went and fixed it for the most part.
You
And
didn't fix it. Yeah, you still have a quarterback.
he still got. Well, we'll worry about that next year because I know who my
I
quarterback
swear to God, I don't understand how y'all keep taking the shiny toy in the draft that's a bad quarterback over and over and over again. Y'all don't need to do that. Y'all don't know why y'all doing that.
Me either.
Y'all took the shiny toy last year, Malik Willis, when everybody that knew football was telling you this man is a bust. Oh, he can throw 60 yards without his shirt on. Great job. And then they went with the same damn thing. They took Will Levis, a guy that couldn't beat out Sean Clifford for the job at Penn State.
I do like Malik, though. Malik has improved. Levis, he's going to have to grow on me a little bit.
I mean, you can like whoever you want to like. They both stink. You should like Ryan Tannehill because Ryan Tannehill
I love Ryan
by
Tannehill.
far the best quarterback on that roster. They all stink.
And I've been arguing with people about who my starting quarterback is since March.
Yeah, it's Ryan Tannehill.
It's Ryan Tannehill.
They kept all three on the roster, right? They went 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah, they went 3 quarterbacks.
I mean, this you have to do when you waste talent, when you waste draft picks on 2 quarterbacks back-to-back years that are both busts. Like, what are we doing?
I'm glad it wasn't a first-round pick, and I'm glad that we got Skoronski where we got him because that's who we needed.
Yo, they moved him into guard, right?
Yeah, I think he's at guard or tackle, but he can be at anywhere on the line.
No, he can't. He's not an NFL tackle. He's going to be a great guard, probably the best guard in football. Let me just be clear. The reason he can't be a tackle, he's got short arms. He cannot be a tackle with short arms.
At guard. He's at guard because I know who my tackles are.
That's the move.
Andre Dillard and somebody else.
Oh, you got our Andre Dillard, our first-round draft pick that we blew. He's not a bad tackle. He's going to be a very good tackle.
He's better than Dennis Daly and half the ghost of Taylor Lewan.
Listen, Dillard is going to be fine. He's mentally weak, but other than that, he's very talented.
As long as we don't have that Swiss cheese offensive line again, I'm fine.
How's Derrick Henry looking? How's his legs? They fresh?
He's fine. He's just fine. And actually, I think what they should do this year, they might not listen to me though, is because Tajay Spears, he's dangerous.
You gonna go Thunder Lightning? Little run back?
Thunder Lightning. Yep.
I like it.
I'd love to see it.
Tajay Spears is dangerous. I agree with you.
And then you have D-Hop and then a developing Treylon Burks as my wideouts.
I love Treylon Burks. I liked him when he got drafted. I just wanted him to go to a situation where he could flourish. Tennessee is not really that situation, but that's okay. We're going to root for him because I like him.
But my defense, that's pretty much where my meat and potatoes is on the defense, though. My defense is projected to be top 10, maybe top 5.
Okay. Well, any other lineups y'all want to throw? Well, before we wrap up the show, because I feel like it's been a quick show. It's Labor Day. I get it. We wanted to put some content out, and I'm really just thrilled to be able to put some good content out on this Labor Day, September 4th. But I want to look at this overall and just look at value, just value. Mm-hmm. Who do you think the best value at the quarterback position is?
Jared Goff at 1.
I agree.
Daniel Jones is not that good. Y'all already know how I feel about Dak Prescott.
I'll tell you right now, there could be a lineup. There could be a lineup of Jared Goff, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, Cheetah, Jettas, and Kelsey. That's $20.
I did think about that one because having Kelsey not be in the lineup was tough, but it was, using Goff as a dollar.
Oh, wait, that's really bad math. I don't even know how I just did that. That's $25. That's a really, really bad math. I should not have did that. But Jared Goff, best value at RB1.
Probably Chubb at 3.
I agree, 100%. Yep. Yeah, we got to stop agreeing. I need to make an argument. I need to argue. Give me the best value at RB2. Don't say it. I swear y'all say it.
Pollard at 4. Wait,
I might have said Etienne at 3.
I think it's ETN at 3 too.
See, I was gonna go there, but I decided to be different. See,
Garrett Wilson at $2 is by far the best value on wide receiver 1. And I hate saying this, but Cheetah at $4, that might be the best value. It's either him or Slim Reaper.
yeah, I was gonna go Devontae being the best value at 2.
But Cheetah at $4 is still great value.
Yeah.
True.
And then tight end Hawkinson at 3. Great value. All right. Well, any final comments before we wrap up this Labor Day special edition of the Cheap Seats podcast?
Yeah.
Season starts Thursday.
All right. So I'll do your final copies for you. I'll do your final shouts for you. If you're not doing this already, you need to download Jory Sports Stories because Jory is doing the damn thing. And if you've not listened to this girl improve over the last 6 months, where she went? She went from a 7 to a 10. She absolutely knocking out the ballpark. The graphics, the audio, everything. If y'all not doing it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Go check out Jory Sports Stories, number 1.
I just put out an episode yesterday.
I seen it's already in my downloaded queue.
Thank you.
Second, my man Kyle does big things. Monday Night Cheap Seats. Tuesday, he's on the Big 3. Thursday, he's going to be doing sideline to sideline without me. I'll be in Universal Studios at Halloween Horror Nights with some family.
Mm-hmm.
I call them, they're not friends. They family. If I go on vacation with you, we're family. Just make that very clear. I don't sleep in the same bedroom with somebody that's not my family. So we're going out there. So check out Sideline to Sideline. Show my man Kyle Edwards some support. Prince of Production of Sports Empire Network. Wire to Wire Sports Podcast is Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will be unveiling my top 32 quarterbacks. I ranked all 32 quarterbacks. The graphic is coming soon. And we will be unveiling it. Top 32 quarterbacks ranked in order. Number 1, the only 2 guarantees that you can have on top 32 quarterback list is number 1 is Mahomes and number 32 is Josh Dobbs. That's the only 2 guarantees you can have. If you're ranking the 32 starting quarterbacks for week 1, that's what I did. There's only 2 guarantees. If you don't have Mahomes 1, you're out of your damn mind. And if you don't have Joshua Dobbs 32, I don't know what you're watching. He stinks.
Tommy, what would you say if somebody had Desmond Ridder 32?
I would tell them they didn't watch Josh Dobbs play football last year. I don't like Desmond Ridder, but I don't have Desmond Ridder 32 or 31.
He's at 30. Well, we'll have to wait till Wednesday.
You have to wait. But yes, he is at 30. I'll give that away. All right. So that's all we have for the Cheap Seats podcast. Monday night, September 4th, Labor Day. Thank you for tuning in, for the comments. I appreciate everybody that will be tuning in later because I know not a lot of y'all can't catch us live. You got the cookout right now on Labor Day. I get it. Y'all could have chose to be anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to be here. So thank you for tuning in to Cheap Seats podcast. I'm Wire to Wire Gene. That's the Prince of Production, Sports Empire Network's Kyle Edwards, and Jory Sports Stories. We are signing out.